Gaffer, the perfect antidote to conceding 2 late goals is to score 2 yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. The disappointment of the late goals of late, and then to go and then produce that at the end. The fans stayed with the team. Probably weren't much in the game, truth be known. And I thought we shaded it. So, I think to score 2 goals like that, lads coming off the bench as well and lifting the levels, the credit goes to the players today.
A tight game and a fantastic strike from their lad. How did you feel when that hit the back of the net? Did you think maybe one of those days?
I think there were a lot of time left. I think then we had a bit of a lull within that where they were making subs. The game kind of went flat a little bit because I thought first half it was a good game. First half, thought tactically and played through their press quite a few times in the first half, and then they probably, if truth be known, probably scored against run of play, and then it kind of rocked us for 15 minutes. 15-20 minutes, but then I thought the response were excellent. I thought we finished the game really strong, and if there was ever going to be I just said to the players there, if there was ever going to be a moment where that's what a squad's for, that was it.
The subs have made a real difference today. It took a while to get them on. There was a bit of confusion. Once they were on, they really made a difference. Yeah,
a bit of confusion with the fourth official. I think he'd put the wrong number down, and then he was more interested in booking myself for having my arms up and appealing for a decision. But once they're on the pitch, that's what I demand. I demand that they maintain the level or they lift the level. And I thought today, every single person who went on that pitch, I always ask, can they give any more for the shirt? I don't think they could today, and I thought we were certainly made up. Well, I'm personally made up for the fans, for the players that we got the win today.
About yourself as a manager, you put subs on when they come on and change the game. You can't get better than two subs, 2 goals.
Yep, all down to me, all down to my decisions. Nothing to do with Paddy Lane, Matt Ritchie, or Charlie Savage who crossed it. No, that's listen. You're very privileged to pick teams. You're very privileged to manage a football club like this. And that's that's my kind of decisions and everything else moving forward. Sometimes you get them right, sometimes they get challenged, and you always want to be collective. I thought the atmosphere when the first goal went in was electric. That's probably as loud as I felt and as emotional as I felt. Although I probably didn't show it on the first goal, but inside I was made up, and the sound of the fans, it was magnificent. I thought that helped us go and score the winner.
Talk to me about Paddy Lane, because he's had a few injuries. He's new to the club. Yeah. That was a big moment for him, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think the technique. It was all about technique. When I first came up, I've known Paddy for a long time. He's a good player, technically a really good player, fit. But he's had his injury issues, and you can see it's kind of knocked him a little bit. Stop-start, which is ultimately what happens sometimes within squads, within players, and he's been working terrifically hard to get back in and amongst everything, and I thought the goal, the technique and the timing and everything else was magnificent. And again, like I said, when it hit the back of the net, the crowd behind, the noise and everything else was fantastic.
Confidence is a big word in sport. For someone like Paddy, that's going to sort of put that through his veins, isn't it, surely?
Yes, absolutely. I actually give him the assist as well, but then he did say, I was the assister of the assister, because it was Charlie who put it in, which we know, and obviously Matt Ritchie, the big 6'4" centre forward, going on the back stick, which was fantastic. But yeah, the confidence that it'll give the individual, like you say, talking about Paddy, talking about Matt Ritchie, who's trained terrifically hard, who probably typifies what it takes to be a senior player. You don't have that many Premier League appearances. You don't turn up every single day to still do it at his age. Is an influence around ourselves. He's an influence around the play. He wants to play all the time, which I'm always aware of. But that's what it takes. When your chance comes, when your opportunity comes, you be ready, because it can present moments like that in front of fans like them.
It was perfect as well. After the equaliser, 9 minutes immediately went up on the ball, and we've not enjoyed seeing those minutes. Some weeks when you're winning, you don't want to see them, but having just got the equaliser, you could feel the collective belief almost.
Yeah, you felt the momentum. Like I said, I think, because of the atmosphere when the first goal went in, and thereafter straight away, I felt the lads just went straight back up the pitch. I felt we held them up there, and like I say, they normally put them amount of minutes up when we're winning, don't they, at the minute? But I thought there were enough time to go and try and get more out of the game, and I think the players felt that. The players felt the energy from the fans. The fans felt the energy from the players, which when you're at home, you need that. You need it in abundance, because you'll always get over the line, and thankfully we did today.
What does it say about the character of your squad as well?
Yeah, very good. Because we've had a couple of disappointments, haven't we, late on in a couple of games, which we've spoke about. How can we be better? We've come a long way since October, November time. We've come a hell of a long way, very, very quickly, and we're very aware of that. We want to be better. We want to evolve quicker. We want to be a finished article, but it'll take time. It will take a lot of time. These lads are working tirelessly hard every single day. Like I say, I always ask them half-time, full-time, first question, can you give any more for the shirt? Because I think that's important. People spend hard-earned money for this stadium, to follow this club, to follow most clubs with the children, with the programmes, food, etc. You've always got to make sure you give the most. You might not play it well every week, but you can give them everything every week, and I thought we did that again today.
Another game with 2 goals scored, and now 1 point outside the top 6 with a game in hand.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, the stats are very good, aren't they? We've scored again another game where we've scored two or more. We won't look too far ahead. Like we say, our next challenge is Luton away, which will be a really good, healthy challenge for us. Another team who are going really well, who've got a really good squad, but that'll give us real confidence going into that game. And if we can tidy up on a few things over the last couple of weeks and give a really good performance and a healthy edge to what we do and a consistency in what we're trying to do, it would be a good challenge for them. And
the build-up of the game was dominated by one man, Jack Marriott, out today, not in the squad. What can you tell us about Jack?
Yeah, obviously disappointing. I think it was from last week. Obviously, the pitch, the condition of the pitch. A couple of players have struggled then with the hamstrings, and it's one of those things, isn't it? So yeah, he's with the medical team. We're still waiting on the length of time. But yeah, I mean, of course, Jack's just as a person in the dressing room was a big miss, but obviously on the pitch, he's loving his football again. He's loving life again. And like I say, he was on fire, wasn't he? So, but that's another person's opportunity. Step up, take it, grasp it, and it's a squad game. So fingers crossed, we'll be able to get a few players back, because we miss all our players. Jack's obviously a massive player for us with his experience and his goals. Daniel's the same, Ben Elliott's the same, Caden Young, who's just come in the building. We've got Will Keane, etc. All the lads who are out the squad. We desperately need them in it, because it's a squad game.
Yeah, no Caden again today after catching the eye last week.
Yeah, same. Just coming off that heavy pitch. Cammy was the same during the game. Caden obviously felt a tightness with his hamstring. Obviously, then we know what's happened to Jack. So yeah, disappointing. But like I say, it's somebody else's opportunity. Matt Ritchie came on the bench, came on the pitch and scored the winner. So when the opportunity presents itself, it's not luck. Preparation meets opportunity, so to speak. So fingers crossed more of that.
And the beauty of the loan system is you've recalled an in-form striker in Sean Patton back into the first team squad here from Aldershot.
Yeah, firstly, congratulations to Sean. It was his first home debut. Gone on loan to Aldershot with a manager who obviously I know very well, John Coleman. I knew it'd be very good for him both on and off the pitch. It'd teach him the game quite quickly in that aspect, because he likes to tell people he's been a forward himself and he scored 300 odd non-league goals, etc. So a big shout out to John. But a big congratulations to Sean, because now again somebody else's disappointment is somebody else's opportunity. So he'll be certainly with us, and hopefully he can have some big moments with us.
Well done today, Gaffer.
Thank you very much.